Hi, everyone. Today we get to hear from a very special person. In previous chats, you've heard from Hillary, a mama through egg donation, and she has spoken to us about her story to parenthood and her passion around educating others about egg donation and donor conceived people. Well, today we get to speak to her 9-year-old daughter, Corinne, and oh, what a sweet time it was getting to chat with her. In this episode, Corinne, a donor conceived person, tells us about exploring her identity, donor sibling dynamics, and even about meeting her donor. We also get to hear from mom Hillary, who highlights the joys and the importance of open, honest communication in donor conceived families. So, whether you're navigating this path or just curious about this deeply human experience, this is an episode you won't want to miss. Enjoy! Me, you, and who? Who knew it would take more than two people to have a baby? In a world where infertility is no longer a taboo topic, this podcast will take you through all of the different aspects of surrogacy and egg donation through the lens of many who walk this journey in different ways. My name is Whitney Hall, and I am a two-time surrogate, now turned surrogacy coordinator for Egg Donor and Surrogate Solutions, the very agency I used when I chose to carry for two amazing families. With this podcast, it is our goal to help guide and support you as you learn about what it takes to grow a family in an alternative way, as well as hear inspiring and beautiful stories of how this path has changed lives forever. We can't wait for you to hear about just one more way happy families are created every day.
I am so glad you guys are here. Yay!
So are we.
Oh my gosh, I'm so pumped. I'm excited. So, Corinne, I don't know if you know this. You probably do, but your mom is probably like your biggest fan. And I have been hearing so much about you for the last 4 years that I've been around here. And so I'm so excited that I get to finally meet you in person. Yes. Okay, so, but something that is so special about you is how you came to this world. Yeah. So what kind of my first question for you, when did you realize, like what's kind of your earliest memory of hearing like your mom and dad say like, oh, you are like a donor conceived person, and like what does that mean?
I don't really remember them telling me that.
Yeah.
I just remember like me and my brother and sister going to like a water park.
I love it.
And meeting each other.
It was just kind of always there. Yeah. So Hillary, how was, like, I know you've kind of talked about this a lot, but it just was.
It just was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, and the fact, Corinne, that you don't remember, that was kind of always our goal, me and your dad, is that we just wanted it to always be part of your story. So we started talking about it before you could even talk, when you were just a baby. Yeah. We started reading the books that you remember.
Okay, so speaking of those books, Corinne, do you have like a favorite one that you kind of remember?
There's one about two bunnies that wanted a baby and they couldn't have it.
Yeah.
So they used the doctor sent a donor. So the mom bunny could have eggs so they could have a baby.
There we go. And it's in Bunnyland. What's the name of that book? Do you
That's
remember?
the Tiny Itsy Bitsy Gift of Life.
Oh,
I think.
That's so cute. Why did you like that one so much?
Because there's bunnies.
Because it's bunnies. That makes sense. My kiddos have, so I was a surrogate, and my kiddos have a book that is called The Kangaroo Pouch. So it's kangaroos that the Hopslot family couldn't have a baby. So then the other kangaroo had the baby in her pouch for a little while. So I feel like bunnies and kangaroos, it kind of helps the whole thing. That's awesome. So, okay, you mentioned just before you were talking about your brother and sister, but this is not a brother and sister that live in your house. Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
So
Do you remember first meeting them? Do you remember thinking anything of it?
I think when I first met them, went to each other's houses. Probably.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing I remember.
Is just going to their house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you think it was like, oh, I have a brother and sister, but they just don't live in my house?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was just kind of it.
I kind of I've understood it for like my whole life. That it just
Yeah.
I just understand it.
You just understand it. How do you explain it to maybe like some friends in your school who don't just understand it? What's kind of the way that you explain it?
I say, so my mom couldn't have eggs to have me, so another person, which is my donor medicine, helped my mom and gave her eggs, so she could have me.
There you go.
That's how I explain it.
That's how you explain it. What do they ever react to it?
They're just like, wow, that's really cool. And then move on.
And then move on. And then move on. Kids make things way more simpler than we ever do.
Yeah, I know, right? Doesn't have to be complicated.
No, it just is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. That's awesome. So, okay, Zoe and Cooper, that's your brother and sister that you got to meet. And I know, what's maybe like one of your like favorite memories that you have of hanging out with them? I heard there was a recent, was it a museum that we went to?
An ice cream museum.
Stop it. Tell me about the ice cream museum.
You could eat unlimited ice cream.
I'm going to need the name of this place and I need to go there.
Ice cream museum.
The ice cream museum.
I love it. It just is. In Austin. Oh my gosh. I love it.
But for some reason, you could eat cotton candy.
I mean, you gotta have choices.
Yeah.
You can eat all the ice cream you want. Why not pile on some more?
Oh, yeah.
Sponge sugar on it.
I love it.
And then there's a giant, remember the sprinkle pit?
Oh, yeah. It wasn't real. It looked like real sprinkles in the pictures.
Yeah.
But it's just big rubber sprinkles.
That you get to play in.
And you can jump in. But I don't like jumping in. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, for sure. We don't recommend that one. Okay. So you went and like hung out with Zoe and Cooper, so Mom, how like from your perspective in, like mom world, what is this kind of like you're like, yeah, I'm taking my daughter's brother and sister out and about, like tell me all the things.
Her donor siblings. It just kind of what Corinne said, it just kind of is, the kids met when they were 3. She was 3 and the twins were 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Carrie and I, who you've talked to, we connected through the donor sibling registry.
Right.
And I think we talked off and on for about a year before we met in person, and then the kids met, and then we just, seen each other over the years.
Yeah.
And we've gone on a couple of vacations together, and the kids have spent time together, and it's just kind of become this sense of family in a way that just another way that families are created.
Absolutely.
So they're kind of part of our extended family now. And it's neat to see the kids together and see some of the similarities and some of the differences. So because there are some obvious similarities. And so it's just cool to see how that exists, even though they're obviously, not in the same family, not raised together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you noticed some of the similarities between you and Zoe Cooper? No.
Cooper. We have like the exact same eye type.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
We look really alike.
That's fun.
They do.
That's fun.
They do. I think Carrie said one time that Corinne was like the boy version of the girl version of Cooper, and vice versa. Because if you put them side by side.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so going back to Madison, the donor, you got to meet her.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
It was very cool.
Yeah? What made you decide that was something that you wanted to do? Do you remember? No.
I just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you said if I could share this, I think you said, why wouldn't I want to meet her? Because she helped us out, you, right?
I think you mostly bring it up.
It's a big part of your story. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, Mom, when Corinne did come to you with this, like, hey, I think I want to meet Madison,
Mhm.
how'd you take that?
Well, I wasn't surprised. And I think the reason she did is because we have just been open with her from the time that she was little. And as she got older and started asking more direct questions like, well, do you think Madison likes this or she's good at this because I like this, I'm good at this. I realized, she may have questions that we can't answer. We may want to be in contact earlier. I mean, we were already in contact for medical information because we felt like having the updated medical information was really important.
Sure.
But I think it just kind of naturally evolved from her knowing she had the option. And so when she did, it was a little earlier, maybe than we would have planned or we would have expected. But because we were already in touch with Madison and because she's so wonderful, when I asked her if she would be willing to meet her, and she said, she actually said, yes, I'm open to anything, but does she want to meet me? Her first concern was for Corinne and what she wanted and what was best for her. So.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so tell me about that meeting when you got to meet Madison.
I was just very surprised.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it's finally done.
I finally get to meet her. Yeah. What did you think were you nervous? Were you excited? Do you remember how you felt? What did you nervous and excited? Yeah. Were you surprised about maybe did you notice kind of similar to Cooper how you guys have the same shaped eyes? Did you notice anything that was similar? No? No.
My mom does.
Moms are good at that.
Yeah. She doesn't think they look alike. I definitely think they.
Yeah.
The only similarity that I can see is freckles.
Yeah, because your dad doesn't have freckles.
Yeah.
Plain skin.
That's awesome. So you meet her for the first time. You were excited. You were nervous. And then how did things go?
Fun.
It was fun. What'd you do?
I don't remember.
That's fun because we met.
Involved water.
Oh, was there a pool?
I don't know. I feel like it involved water.
It did.
Oh, yeah.
Both times it involved water. So she's met her, I think, twice.
Yeah.
Well, this will be the third time. Yeah. We're going to see them while we're in Houston.
Oh, fun. Today. So we get to go see her today. That is so fun. So you met her and you said the first time, well, they both involved water.
So the first time they came, her and her daughter came to our hotel. And the kids just swam and we hung out for a little while. And then it was kind of the same thing. We saw them over the summer and we just stayed at a resort for a couple of days. And hung out. The kids played. We had dinner, visited.
I love it. That's so fun. So you got to meet another sibling. How was that? Was that exciting? Did you know you had another sibling? No. So that was fun. Yeah, that's awesome. So how does it feel kind of knowing okay, you have these, kind of siblings out there, but they don't live in your house? Weird? Yeah? What about it's weird?
It's just magical.
Yeah, it is kind of magical. It is pretty magical.
Because we don't live together and we don't see each other, so it's just weird.
But magical. Yeah. Do you ever think about, oh, I probably have some more out there? Do you ever think about that? Or are you kind of like, meh?
I do.
You do? Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think about when you're thinking about that?
I think about Zoe and Cooper and that's my story. Yay.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything, I know you've just always known that this is just your story.
Yeah.
Is there anything that maybe you would say to some other kiddos that are either your same age or younger or even older, hey, as a person who like came to the world in this way, I think like this is some advice I would give.
Probably ask your parents a lot of questions.
Yeah. Like what questions would you ask?
Like, do I have any other siblings out there? Can I
Mhm.
meet my donor?
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you think are there ever questions that like you were asking your mom, like, do you think Madison is good at this because I am? Does it ever bother you that maybe sometimes mom doesn't have those answers?
No.
No? Yeah. Mom, does it ever bother you that you don't have those answers?
Sometimes. I think the one about the siblings is probably the hardest one, just because
Sure.
she has had the opportunity to meet other siblings, and we know that Madison helped 3 other families in addition to us and Zoe and Cooper's family. So you know that they're out there probably.
Sure.
But whether or not we'll ever know how many, or whether or not she'll ever get the chance to meet them, I mean, that's just something we don't know. We can
Sure.
hope so, right? But it's just kind of that's the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And it's hard to be able to tell your child, I don't know, because I want to have all the answers for her, and
Sure.
I don't. But
I think every parent wants to have all the answers.
I know we all want to have all the answers, not just to this.
Not
This is just a small part. We want the answers to everything. I mean, kids are always going to ask questions that don't have the answers to. But I think just the best thing we can do is just be open with her, and she knows that she can ask us any question, and if we don't have the answer, we'll say, we don't have it. We'll try to find it if we can, and if we can't,
that's just that.
That's
yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any? Do you have like a favorite memory? I know we kind of talked about the museum, but do you have a favorite memory and maybe something that like you hope to do in the future with maybe just as a donor conceived person, even though this is just a small part of your identity, or maybe like with your siblings or something?
Go to camp.
Go to camp. That would be so fun. Well, you've been to camp. You did do camp before once. You want to do it again? Yeah. Oh, that's the best.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Mom, do you have any advice? And I know I've asked you this question before, and you've always given such great advice, but going from where, just in these different points as you're raising and parenting, any advice?
I think just be open. Tell your children early from the beginning. There's so many more books now that are available than there were 10 years ago when we were starting to tell her the story. So I would say that's a great way to start. And then the conversation just kind of naturally evolves as your child gets older. And just, it's not a one and done conversation. I never expected it to be a one and done conversation in our family. But I will say when we knew we were going to need help to have a family, we knew we were going to go the egg donor route. And we chose like a semi-open arrangement. I did feel like I was checking the box, like, okay, we've done no donor arrangement, we can get updated medical information, which for us was the most important. We knew that Madison was open to meeting future children, down the line, and so I felt like, okay, check that box. Probably won't have to reach out for quite a while, other than for medical information. But then as she got older and started asking questions, and we talked about potentially meeting her, that's kind of evolved. That's just evolved. So I would just say stay open, and be open to answering questions.
Or finding the answer.
Or finding the answers, yeah. or finding the answers. Yeah, if you can. And I will say one resource that's been really good for us is the U.S. Donor Conceived Council. They have a lot of good resources for everybody, for parents, for donors, and for donor conceived people. And that's really listening to donor conceived people who said, I wish I would have known like siblings earlier in life. I wish I would have had the opportunity to like know my donor earlier in life. That kind of spurred me to think, oh, maybe we're not going to wait till she's 18 or 15.
Sure.
So,
yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Corinne, do you know, besides the siblings that you've met, do you know any other donor conceived people? Like, is there anybody else in your class?
No.
No. You get to be the special one. Yeah.
Well, that's all I know for now.
That's all you know for now. That's who knows. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. I have one last question. It's my fun one. Are you ready? Okay. What filled your cup today?
Nothing, because I drank a little bottle of water and taking a warm shower.
Taking a warm shower does feel really good. That's a great way to start the day.
Yeah.
What about you, Mama? What filled your cup?
Water, coffee, like we said, at least 1 cup per
kid
per day,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And then just knowing that we were going to do this and just our like kind of banter and stuff in the morning while we were getting ready.
That's always fun. It's fun to hang with Mom. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you coming and talking about just this small part of who you are. You are so much like you're full of just so much fun. And I really appreciate you talking about this, just one little bit about you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Me, You, and Who. We appreciate your time and hope you enjoyed our discussion today. As we wrap, we would like to remind you of some of the ways that you can stay connected with us and be part of the Me, You, and Who podcast community. Firstly, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode and can stay up to date with our latest content. But that's not all. We also have an exciting YouTube channel where we share some bonus content, behind the scenes glimpses, and video versions of our episodes. Head over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button there as well. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when the new episodes go live. And for more exclusive updates, engaging discussions, and a chance to connect with fellow listeners. Be sure to follow us on our social media accounts. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Create a Happy Family. If you're interested in finding out more about creating a happy family, please visit us at www.createahappyfamily.com. Thank you again for being part of the Me, You, and Who community. Your support means the world to us. I can't wait for you to join us next time as we continue to share stories and journeys of creating happy families.